Hey everyone, Ryan here, and in this video we have our very first LEGO Star Wars 2025 set rumors with 6 sets rumored to be releasing on January 1st of 2025. Now, it is currently early July, so it is earlier than normal for us to be getting rumors of sets for next year. However, it is not impossibly early, so it's entirely possible that all this information is legitimate and correct. Most of it seems to come from a reputable source, although some of it I'm questionable on, like some of the more specific details, but we will see. Basically, that's kind of how rumors go. You just kind of have to wait and see if more reputable sources jump in, or over time, if nothing changes, it's probably correct. It's kind of how it typically works. So we're still a ways out from January of 2025, but we are in the zone where these could be real rumors. So we're going to hop into it. The 6 sets, I'll just go through the prices right now, and then we'll come back to what they actually are. So the cheapest set is supposed to be a 4+ set that is $30, which we'll just say it up front here, means no battle packs in the January wave, which is sad, but we did get a couple battle packs this year, and one of them came in the summer, so maybe next year's will come in the summer. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Would not want to skip a year of battle packs, especially in the 20th anniversary year of Revenge of the Sith. The next cheapest set is going to be $45. Then we have 2 $50 sets. One of them is 18+. 2 $70 sets. Again, another one of them being 18+. Another one is a normal playset. And then finally, a $100 set. So those are your 6 set prices. Now we'll go through each with the set number and the part count and kind of dissect what they are, or if they have an actual rumor attributed to them, what they may actually literally be. So the first set is set number 75410. It's the 4+ set that's $30. It's supposed to have 92 pieces, and this does have like an actual rumor attributed to it in the N-1 Starfighter, very likely Mandalorian's N-1 Starfighter, because like that just makes all the sense in the world that LEGO would want to make a 4+ set for kids that they can include Grogu in. So I'm pretty sure if this rumor is true, it will end up being the Mandalorians and not like the yellow one that you may want instead. Although I guess they did already make a 4+ Naboo Starfighter back in 1999, or at least it certainly looks like it. That thing is ugly. Anyway, this set for $30, I don't know, in the 4+ range, probably not unreasonable. It'll probably only include a couple of characters with Grogu and Mando. I just don't see what else you're going to throw in here. It's a pretty straightforward set to me, so nothing too exciting there. The next set is 75401. It's supposed to have 290 pieces and cost $45, and it is apparently Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor, and we are very specifically talking Interceptor, not Starfighter. So this would be a unique first-time build for LEGO Star Wars, which is exciting. Hopefully a new Clone Wars Ahsoka minifigure, like that would make sense to me, but ultimately this set is something I was kind of hoping would be a blue Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor with some Utapau guys. Another benefit of this set existing, though, is that we will get a new version of the Ahsoka's astromech droid that we haven't had, I think, since 2009, so that'll be pretty nice. But this set's price is a big question mark. Like, if this truly is what it is, $45 for a Jedi Interceptor is nuts. The last Jedi Interceptor was Anakin's in 2020, and it was $30. So unless there's an extra few figures or an extra part of a build in this set, $45 is nuts. And that's why the blue Obi-Wan Starfighter with like part of like, the Utapau setup and maybe a Phase 2 Cody or something, I don't know, just something to bolster that value is desperately needed. And for this set, I don't know what that is, because with the blue one, we can do the Utapau guys. If it was the green Anakin's one like we saw back in 2012, they added in some of the Mustafar builds, and that was a $40 set in 2012. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this. The price is really high compared to what the historical value of the exact build is. So if it ends up being Ahsoka's Interceptor and we're only getting Ahsoka and her astromech droid and nothing else, there's no extra build, no extra couple of figures, the $45 price tag is gonna cause riots. Well, maybe not, but like people are gonna be mad and they'll tell you on the internet. Anyway, next up is 75402, and it's the set that I'm most hyped about. I'm pretty sure you'll be most hyped about, and I'm most sure is probably a real set that will end up coming out. 75402, 497 pieces, $70, and it's said to be an ARC-170. Now, it could be the Clone Wars version, although it's much more likely it's a Revenge of the Sith version, which could end up going in a couple of directions, because we see them both in the Battle of Coruscant, and then we, of course, see them chasing down Plo Koon. So maybe a new way to get a Plo Koon minifigure in 2025, fingers crossed, hopefully, but there's also a chance it's maybe a little more reserved of a set and it's just Battle over Coruscant, whatever. I still think an ARC-170 with Plo Koons would have been like a crazy pairing, but if it includes a Plo Koon minifigure, maybe we all just have to settle for that, you know? But anyway, this ARC-170 at $70. The comparison would be in 2010, they released an ARC-170 with 396 pieces for $60. I'm not exactly sure what the inflation numbers on that, haven't run them, but I know that it's probably going to be a pretty significantly downsized ARC-170. I mean, the piece count is 100 pieces more, and it's only $10 more. So for like the price for piece people, you should be looking at this and being like, holy crap, what a deal. But in the same breath, it's obviously going to be a bit of a smaller ARC-170 using smaller pieces, if this is an ARC-170, of course. Now, I do think the ARC-170 can do okay through a bit of a downsize, because one of the faults I always thought of with the ARC-170 is the wings would just sag a little bit. And so if the model is a bit tighter, a bit smaller, the wings won't sag as much, and therefore it might end up looking a little bit better. And so that's the glass half full view of the ARC-170 possibly being downsized. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still probably going to use the same exact cockpit size pieces. It's still going to fit the astromech in the middle. So there is like a standard size that it has to be. It can't get too small. And we can see with 497 pieces, it'll be the ARC-170 with the most pieces that we've ever had in an ARC-170. So they're putting something into it. So hopefully it turns out to be a good model, again, if it's an ARC-170. So I'm hyped about it. Really hopeful it's a Revenge of the Sith version. And that is the only currently rumored Revenge of the Sith set for the January wave. Of course, there's many other sets that will end up coming out in 2025 that we know nothing about right now, and a few sets in this very wave that I'll get to in a second. But yeah, hopefully there's more to add on to that, but ARC-170 kind of sits alone right now. The next two sets don't have a rumor attributed to them at all. Set number 75403 has 1,048 pieces for $100. And the hopium in me says Ultimate Space Battle 2, Electric Boogaloo, Anakin, and Obi-Wan Interceptor, and a Tri-Droid, and a Vulture Droid. And I mean, the piece count lines up with that. The price feels a little low for that, but in the same breath, LEGO Star Wars has been doing a lot of combo spaceship sets recently, and this set would go really good with an ARC-170 set. So I'm like kind of hopeful that that's maybe on the table for this set, but also at the same time being very realistic with myself. Like, LEGO Star Wars is never going to redo that set, are they? You know what I mean? Like, as cool as it would be, I just don't see it happening. So, I mean, yeah, obviously it's on the table. Anything is on the table for that $100 set. It could be something from a new show. It could be something from the original trilogy. We literally know nothing about it. Your guess is as good as mine down in the comments. But yeah, I'm like glass half full, hopium, Ultimate Space Battle 2. I need it. I need it back. The other set we know nothing about is 75404. It's supposed to be an 18 plus set with 450 pieces and be $50. And so because the next set is rumored is not going to be a MIDI-Scale Venator, I would imagine this is our MIDI-Scale Venator. I mean, the MIDI-Scale Invisible Hand was $50, so if the Venator is in the same scale as the Invisible Hand, it stands to reason that the Venator would also be $50. This is a bit smaller than I would expect for the Venator, a bit cheaper. Like, I always thought it would fit in that $70 price range, like the Super Star Destroyer, but the Invisible Hand was also smaller and cheaper than I could have ever expected, so it's entirely possible that this set is the MIDI-Scale Venator, and that would be my best guess currently. Although, again, it could literally be anything. We don't actually know anything about it, but I'm very hopeful that it is a Venator, because if it's not, that would be mad disappointing. So set 75405 is the sixth set here. It is also an 18 plus set with 559 pieces. It's said to be $70, and while I originally thought, like I said, it would be a MIDI-Scale Venator, it is rumored to be a MIDI-Scale Home 1 Mon Calamari Cruiser, and that's a pretty cool ship, honestly. I think that's a really good choice for a MIDI-Scale set. It's something that would never perform good at the $500, $600, $700, $800 range that you would have to do. It's a really hard ship to make as a playset in the $160 range, and so MIDI-Scale always felt right for this type of ship, kind of like the Nebulon B frigate always felt right as the MIDI-Scale ship, you know? And so I think that's a fantastic choice here. Hopefully this one ends up being true. Very excited for that. Obviously no figures with probably either of these 18 plus sets, because for the 3 years of its existence, the diorama line has only ever released in May, so I don't expect a diorama to come out in the January wave. Obviously, if you've watched me for the past few years, 2025 has been a year that I've been looking forward to get a lot of Revenge of the Sith stuff, some Revenge of the Sith anniversary sets, and just kind of embrace the nostalgia, really. I grew up with that movie. I saw it in theaters 3 times when I was 7, 8 years old. And, you know, it's that movie. I gotta have it, and I'm just here for it right now. And I'm hopeful that this is the start of something good for 2025. And I would imagine the Lego Star Wars team for the last 3 years has seen the demand from myself and many other people online talking about Revenge of the Sith being the anniversary that they want to see, you know, celebrated. And I just have high hopes for 2025. Let's just put it that way. So the ARC-170 is definitely a good start. It at least tells us that they know Revenge of the Sith, and they had Commander Cody in 2024, and they had the Invisible Hand in 2024. So, you know, they gave us a taste this year.
I'm like, you know, I'm tired of getting the taste of them. I want the whole loaf.